Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. It's kind of a tribute morning for me. I lost a beloved cousin yesterday. I don't know about you, but my cuzzos are my siblings. I love my cuzzos. My cousins are everything to me. My cousin Cheryl passed away yesterday morning. It was not COVID. And maybe it was COVID on top of everything else. I don't know. All I know is I needed to start out with a little tribute to a human being who was like so the consummate mom. Like my little cousins who call me Auntie Sandy because they're like a entirely different generation than I. Um, they were so loved. They were so loved. Cheryl was not my birth cousin. She was married to my cousin who's closest in age to me, still way younger. But I was like all the cousins' big sister because I was so much older and I was the only girl around at the time. Anyway, Cheryl married Sherry married my Jeffy, and that made her special right there. I mean, if he chose her, she had to be terrific. She always had a beautiful house, beautiful attitude. She really had her problems over the years, and she handled them like a champ. I'm not going to do a whole eulogy, but here's what I do want to say. To those of you who have family you love, cherish them. Let them know you love them. Call them right now. I don't even care if you don't visit with me this morning. Oh, it's kind of early. Call them later. Let the people you love know that you love them. Don't ever leave an I love you left unsaid. Thank you. Thank you, Opa. Thank you. It's an interesting time for all of us. And far more death than I ever thought any of us would experience in a lifetime. Okay, you ready to move on? It doesn't mean forget. It just means put it in its cubicle. There is still possibility on the planet. My memories, and by the way, I don't know if you've experienced this, but in the last 20 hours or so since I found out, the memories have been flooding in, and one is more hilarious and more wonderful. A lot of them are around kosher hot dogs and French fries and yeah, I just have a lot of very funny memories. Most of them I can't even share with you, but I'd love to. All right, what is today? Today, besides love the people you love and let them know day, that's the holiday I made up. It's happy birthday to Babe Ruth. I mean, where would we be without Babe Ruth? We'd hardly have chocolate bars, right? Babe Ruth, great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you should really watch what is it? It's called The Babe Ruth Story, I think. It's really good. Ronald Reagan, Babe Ruth and Ronald Reagan, same birthday. And they share a birthday with Zsa Zsa Gabor. Yeah. Now, what do they have in common? Don't they always say that people who share the same birthday have stuff in common? I don't know. Maybe. My sister-in-law, may she rest in peace, Nancy. Nancy and I had the same birthday, but I was a little selfish and I didn't really like sharing. So we'd have two different birthday celebrations. My birthday is my birthday. Don't you feel that way, kind of? But it was always fun to know I had birthday sisters, and I do have birthday sisters. Ev is one of our what do you say, what do I say, what do I do people. And frequently she's here with us, although she doesn't always say hello while she's here. But she's my birthday sister, November 6th. I know there's a lot of you out there. Natalie Cole's birthday, Natalie Cole. You know what? I never knew who she was until she did posthumously, until she did that album with Nat King Cole after he died, her dad. Oh, it's so beautiful. You know, they like melded the voices. They did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal birthday job. I mean, phenomenal melding job. Bob Marley's birthday. It's a musical birthday today. It's also Mike Farrell's birthday. Did I ever tell you my Mike Farrell story? Do you know who he is? The guy from MASH? The good-looking guy from MASH is what I always like to say. Mike Farrell, actor, but like a human being who really cared about human beings. And he started a restaurant years ago called Our Contribution. That was the name of it. It was a combination of healthy things, and I think he like donated part of what came in, and he was just a really good human being. And years ago, and when I'm saying years ago, I'm talking like 40 years ago, maybe 35 years ago, when I had my balloon company, I was hired by KABC Radio to go and do a delivery to Mike Farrell at the opening. It was the opening week of his restaurant, and the radio station where he'd been a guest a lot wanted to congratulate him. So they hired me to go out and do a big, huge bouquet of balloons and come in playing the kazoo and make a big deal, right? So I get there and they call him and I do my whole presentation. The man not only was 10,000 times even better looking in person. I mean, like, really, God, you know how to put pieces together and come up with a face and a body like that? Because you should do that all the time. That's really cool. Anyway, he's gorgeous. But more important, he was the kindest man. Seriously. He invited me to stay for lunch. And of course I did. And I had lunch with Mike Farrell and his son at his restaurant. And we had such a great time. He was such a good human being. We just chatted and laughed and ate. And the food was really good too, if I remember correctly. So Mike Farrell, happy birthday wherever you are. Did I tell you what I did yesterday? Yes, day before yesterday, because I was going to tell you about it yesterday and I think I forgot. While I was going through all those old pictures of my mother's, remember I showed you her wedding picture, among other things? I found this little tiny picture. I don't see it now. I had it out to show you yesterday, of a little boy who was the son of some people that I knew years and years ago. When I was selling Indian jewelry at the Del Mar County Fair, I met the Mylers, Margie and Carl Myler from Portland, Oregon. Carl Myler, who was already older at the time, if I think clearly, had invented the High Myler roller coaster and other ones. I think he did like the mouse one too. Anyway, he and his wife had the roller coaster in the amusement park section of the fair. And I think they might have had some of the carny stuff too. I don't know. They were these awesome people. We became friends, even stayed with them at their home up in Portland, up above the Rose Garden. A gorgeous mansion of a home. First time I ever slept on silk sheets and pillowcases. You kind of just slide around all night. It was really nice. Anyway, lost track of them. And then found this little picture of their son, who was 10 years old at the time, which means he's like probably 50 now. So I tried finding him on Facebook. I thought that'd be really cool, but I couldn't find him on Facebook. So I Googled the High Myler, which was the name of their roller coaster. And it turns out that it's now a whole company that's run by Carl's children, I guess, his sons and grandsons. And they have roller coasters all over the country. So went to contact information. I sent a little message. We'll see if anybody reads it. But I'd love to get back in contact with him. How fun is that? Yeah. And it was a cool roller coaster too. So there. Can you see my mug? This was from my mother's 90th birthday. Chai in Hebrew, Chai, which is like spelled like chai tea, but it's pronounced chai. Get that? Okay. So chai is the number 18 in Hebrew. It stands for life. It's a blessed number, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, 18, which is chai, times 5 equals 90. So I guess you could call it high five. So the theme of my mother's 90th birthday was high five. Get it? Okay, I know it's a little bit of a stretch, but that's what this is. It's high five, and the logo was my mother sitting there like this. She didn't know why, but I made it into a life-size poster and centerpieces, and it was her high five birthday extravaganza. I scream, you scream, we all scream for Fritzy and chocolate ice cream, because she loves chocolate ice cream. Where's my chocolate ice cream? It's here somewhere. Here it is. Chocolate ice cream for Fritzy, vanilla ice cream for me. Why am I talking about ice cream, right? I'll tell you why. Because today, I hope you've just had your coffee and you haven't eaten yet. Because today is ice cream for breakfast day. Do I not bring you like the best holidays ever? So go make yourself a bowl of ice cream for breakfast. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, I put my ice cream away for now. It is also Canadian Maple Syrup Day. Thank you. What would we do without that incredible maple syrup? I went on a trip, a family vacation to Alaska. And while we were in Alaska, one of the side trips was to take a train from wherever we were in Alaska into Canada. This is another one of those roundabout stories, so try and follow. My grandson and I, where is it? It's up there. I could show it to you, but I'll tell you instead. Max and I have this saying, this thing that we say to each other all the time. I love you more than, and then we had to think of things that were really special, right? So our thing is, I love you more than turkey bacon, because we both love turkey bacon. I love you more than turkey bacon, as big as the sky, and all the way to Canada. That's just what we say all the time. So when we were on the trip, I cannot tell you how fun it was. We hardly sat down at all because the trip itself was gorgeous. But here we are. He's a little guy with his grandy and the family. But he and I were on this train watching all this gorgeous scenery, looking for animals and stuff. And then we get to the border and we just looked at each other and started laughing and said, all the way to Canada. And we got to love each other all the way to Canada. It was really fun. And then when we got to Victoria and we went shopping in the shops, we did a lot of souvenir shopping and a lot of picture taking. But what we brought home was Canadian maple syrup. Yum. Maybe you could pour it over your ice cream this morning. Yeah. Oh, do you get maple syrup out of the trees where you are, Oprah? She says she's waiting for it to get warm so that the sap will start flowing again. Seriously, can you like do that thing where you stick the thing into the tree and the syrup drops out? Oh, that'd be so cool to have so fresh syrup. What else? It's play outside day, but not for all of you, apparently. It is here. Although, honestly, I am taking a 1-day vacation from tennis. I needed a day off. I had to cancel yesterday. I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm tired. Oh, you missed the first 7 minutes of the broadcast? I'm sorry, JB, but I'm glad you're here now. Yeah, it's Marilyn's birthday. JB and I have a friend, Marilyn, who was in all the plays with us and all the shows with us. And today is her birthday. I sent her a birthday message this morning. But just in case she's here, happy birthday, Marilyn. I love you. We have a whole maple syrup town called Shepherd. There's a huge festival and all the things maple. Okay, look, I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't in honor of today, but my guy, his favorite donut is a maple old fashioned. They're really hard to find, but that's his favorite donut. And he is a total sucker for a maple old fashioned. And we'd been talking about it the day before yesterday. And his tennis opponent yesterday, who's a friend of ours, showed up with a dozen Krispy Kreme for him with maple on top, not realizing that that's not a maple old fashioned. Good, but not a maple old fashioned. So I kind of had my maple yesterday, and there's still some sitting out in the kitchen. I gave away as many as I could. I swear I tried, but some of them we just have to eat. That's just the way it works, you know? Yeah. Maple syrup, maple everything. Just maple's good, isn't it? It's chopstick day. Now, why would I mention this? I mention this because some of you are not very adept at using chopsticks. You're sort of still on quarantine. Practice. This is a great opportunity. So when the pandemic is over and you can go out to some great Chinese restaurants, you'll be able to be a pro at using chopsticks. Why not? Master it now. Practice. Try using chopsticks all day long today. I remember, by the way, meeting my mother, my father, my brother for lunch one day. My brother was working in town, so we said we'd all come and meet him for lunch. And we went to a Thai restaurant. And I absolutely humiliated myself and everyone at the table by asking for chopsticks. I was foolishly of the belief that just because Thailand is a country in Asia, that they use chopsticks. Apparently, FYI, in Thailand, they use forks. Don't ask for chopsticks at a Thai restaurant. That's all. I'm just helping you out here. Chopsticks are a craft tool at my house, says Opa. Yeah, I use them too for that. I use them as skewers. But you're not supposed to play with chopsticks at the table. It's very disrespectful. So don't call them chopsticks. Call them craft sticks. There you go. They have many uses. All right. Most important today is Pay a Compliment Day. I never heard of this holiday before, but I'm really glad they have it. Here's your assignment today. You need, I'm not kidding you, you need this. You need to go out and pay a compliment to every person you come in contact with. Deepak Chopra, I remember listening to him, which for me is very hard to do because I think he's really hard to understand. Anyway, I was listening to a tape that Deepak Chopra did, and he was talking about always bringing a gift when you see someone, or when you meet someone, or when you go to their home. And I thought, well, that's a nice thing to do. But, sometimes you don't know you're going or you're in a hurry or you forget and blah, blah, blah. That's not what he meant. You can bring a gift that's all wrapped up, and that's lovely. He said, but you don't have to do that. You can stop and pick a flower. You can bring a smile. You can bring a compliment. And those are all gifts. So today is not just Pay a Compliment Day, it's Give a Gift Day. There's always something to compliment, always. I like the smile on your face. That color is great on you. Wow, I love what you've done with your hair. But make it real. That's part of the value of this little project I'm giving you, is in order to pay a compliment, you have to truly pay attention. Because I don't want you to just give it lip service. I don't want you to have like a pat compliment that you give people. I want you to really look at the people or think about the people and come up with something special about them that you've noticed. Like that. Isn't that every day? Pay a compliment day? Yes, it should be. Thank you. Ginny says it is. Opa says it is. It should be. But if it isn't, and if it isn't something you've actually thought about, but you just do, think about it today. Think about, because you weren't always like that. Something had you switch to be like that. Now appreciate it and appreciate yourself. If it's something you do automatically, good on ya. But instead of having it be automatic, get off automatic and get on purposeful. Make a difference. Yeah. Is an old-fashioned a regular cake donut? Yes, it is. It's kind of an old-fashioned is kind of a, it doesn't look round. It's got like little, I don't know how to describe it. It's an old-fashioned donut. And yes, it is a regular cake donut. But it's kind of a little crispier, I think, than a regular cake donut, too. A maple old-fashioned. They're, like I said, whenever I see one, I buy it because I don't see them very often. All right. I was going to leave you with that, but this is more fun to leave you with. Today in 1971, you ready? This is the day that Alan Shepard took his golf club and hit 2 golf balls on the moon. Yeah. I used to live on a canyon. There was my backyard, a canyon, very, very deep canyon with a road at the bottom. And across the canyon was a very famous boarding school. In fact, it was the boarding school where, among other people, Joan Crawford sent her children. Mummy dearest. Anyway, I can remember my kids and their friends used to, dangerous, I know. They never did it when I was watching, I promise, because they always got in trouble for doing it, but they did it anyway. When I wasn't around, they would take golf balls and try and hit them across the canyon over into the school, which is pretty much impossible to do, I think. Anyway, somebody was hitting golf balls on the moon in our lifetime. How about that? Maple cinnamon roll. I'm not going to lie. My favorite is a bear claw. That's a thought I'm going to leave you with. It's ice cream for breakfast day. What's your favorite treat in the morning? Mine is a bear claw, warmed up just a little bit. Now I'm going to go think about bear claws. But I'm going to have ice cream for breakfast. And remember, you scream, I scream. We all scream for ice cream. I love you. I love all of you. Do you remember what I said at the beginning? You have family and friends you love. Don't leave it to chance. Tell them right now. Go on. Send them a message if you have to. And I want you to know, I love you. I love you. Yes, I'm talking to you. You're special to me. Thank you for being with me this morning. Bye.